Today, I get paid for my wage slave job. I check my bank account and see that the money has arrived. There it is. And now it's time to pay the bills. Mortgage payments, school loan, phone bill, electricity. I put all my expenses in a spreadsheet. Once I paid all my bills for the month, the rest goes to investing in stocks, so I can one day live off the dividends. This is my big plan. But I do want to buy that new jacket. Oh, and the iPhone 16. But no, not this time. I'm going full minimalist this month so I can invest as much as possible. Let's see how much I can invest this month. Wait a second, this doesn't look right. My spreadsheet tells me that I only get to invest 20% of my income. So let me get this straight. Just so my gorilla brain can understand this. For every $10 I make from my wage slave job, I get to keep around $2? Huh, okay. Let's go over my budget. Let's see if we can improve this. Doing a tweak here, doing a tweak there. That's better. I fixed it. Now I save 60% of my income. You want to know how I did it? Okay. Truth is, I actually noticed this problem 10 years ago, and I did fix it. I decided that I wanted to save 60% of my income, and today, that is exactly how much I save, approximately. But here's the kicker. My expenses still take around 80% from my wage slave salary. And not only that, every month, I spend money on clothes and tech gadgets. So, what is my secret? Well, to get there, I have to take you through the labyrinth of my financial journey. Now, don't worry if numbers make your head spin. I'm gonna take you through this nice and slowly. And I promise you, by the end of this video, it will all make sense. First, we have to peek behind door number 1. I have a spreadsheet where I track all my expenses each month. I actually have a budget meeting with my wife once a month after we get paid. She hates doing it, but she understands the wisdom behind it. It's a great way to understand where your money is going. Now, I'll be the first to admit it, tracking expenses is super boring. But it's only boring because society has programmed us into careless wage slaves. They taught us math at school. X and Y, which only confused the majority of us more. They should have taught us math from a practical perspective. If they had taught us in school how to track expenses and invest to have richer lives, we would have paid more attention. Instead, society teaches us that it's cool to have car loans, school loans, and house loans. Don't worry about the interest. It's never been this low, and the housing market is looking great. It's bullshit. Tracking your expenses on a spreadsheet is one of the most powerful tools for financial freedom. It lets you see how your money is being drained each month from expensive habits and interest rates. It all adds up. So I cannot stress this enough. If you are not tracking your spending on a spreadsheet, you will never escape financial slavery. So, did the spreadsheet help me get my savings rate up to 60%? Well, sadly, no. It got me closer, though. There is a bunch of expenses that I learned that I can simply live without. So, for example, I cut my own hair. I refuse to spend money on my hair. Now, I don't judge if you love going to the barber. We all have our vices. I'm just saying that if there are certain expenses that you can live without, the spreadsheet will help you see it. Now, you have probably heard of the magical power of compound interest. And it is actually quite amazing. Let's say you save $1,000 this year by reducing certain expenses. Well, 25 years from now, that $1,000 could be worth $5,000 or more, just by reducing a few unnecessary expenses. But like I said, my spreadsheet didn't help me reach my target. So in order to reach 60%, we need to look behind door number 2, which I like to call zero shopping. This is the one that minimalists and members of the FIRE movement love. Spend as little as possible and invest as much as possible. My grandfather was actually the OG of zero shopping. He would never buy a cup of coffee in some coffee shop. He would never go to a restaurant. And I admired my grandfather a lot. I wanted to be like him. And also, I love the idea of zero shopping. After all, we live in a society that thrives on consumerism. There must be something wrong with that, right? I mean, we're all shopaholics who get tricked all the time when we see a sale. There is so much trash that we buy that we don't need to impress people that we don't even like. So, what's the point? Now, I tried zero shopping a few periods in my life, but I noticed something peculiar. I actually like shopping. And I don't want to stop just because I don't make enough money from my wage slave job. You see, the reason people like you and me get inspired by the idea of minimalism and zero shopping is because we are poor. But the truth is, shopping less doesn't make you less poor. Yes, it increases your savings, sure, but the main problem is still that you don't make enough money. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's good to shop for things we don't really need. I'm saying that you should spend money on the things you love. Look, minimalism is great for some sanity, a calmness, but not if it makes you unhappy. If you love books and you would love to have a library at home, why punish yourself by denying yourself what makes you happy? So for me, it's tech gadgets and cameras. I don't know why, but I've always loved tech. I tried zero shopping a few times in my life, and every time I noticed that it was making me unhappy. So I just stopped. I figured out that the solution, it wasn't to shop less. I just need to make more money. And that's when I discovered door number 3, side hustles. Now, I could earn more money by advancing in my career, but I have zero interest in working overtime and having tons of responsibility at some greedy company. So I say no thanks to manager positions. And besides, I out-earn my managers with the help of side hustles. I learned to make money in my sleep. I learned to leverage my output to make more money. You see, when you depend on your salary, there is really so much you can do. It's the company who decides how much you can spend. So instead, I create my own scenario. I create a situation where I am in charge of my income. We all know that you can invest in stocks and assets that generate passive income, but you can also create your own assets from scratch. We live in a very interesting time right now, the digital age of social media. The internet gives us access to so much, and it's easier than ever to make side hustles from home, even from your smartphone. And I'm not kidding. At any point of the day, you can take a picture with your smartphone of something interesting, upload it to Shutterstock, and your picture is now a passive income generator. Now, personally, I make content on YouTube and Amazon where I get ad revenue. I have my own book, I have music that I sell, and because of my love for cameras, I take a lot of videos that I sell as stock footage. And because of all of these passive income side hustles, my income is almost twice as big. That's right, I really do make more than most of my managers at work. And I could make even more, a lot more. But mortgages and debt still keep me trapped in wage slavery, which I'm going to talk more about in my next video. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know more about my side hustles, check out my video, 7 Passive Incomes. Now, there is also door number 4 that helps me make even more money, but it's a risky one. It's not for everyone, so there is no shame in stopping this video right now. Okay? All right, let's go. Crypto. I know, but Tom, that's a pyramid scheme. How can you talk about financial independence and then nuke the whole topic by even mentioning crypto? Well, I have made several videos about cryptocurrencies, and I know that most people are afraid of Bitcoin and that sketchy crypto nonsense. But hear me out. Stocks and index funds are relatively safe, or at least safer than crypto. And yes, a lot of cryptocurrencies are rug and pull scams. But the reason for that is because crypto is still at large unregulated. But here's the kicker. It's because it's unregulated that people make insane amounts of money from crypto. When crypto becomes mainstream, the gold rush will be over. But I really do understand the mentality that most people have when they hear about crypto. Because the sad truth is that most people earn so little, they become very defensive about their 20% or less that they can invest. So usually they don't even do that. And I was the same way until I started to use my money in a more offensive way. When you earn a lot of money and you track your spending, you can afford to be risky with your investments. When I first started out with crypto, I was super offensive and I was mentally prepared to lose it all. But I never risked anything like losing my house or not being able to pay my bills. Because of that spreadsheet, I was in full control. And not to brag or anything, but last time crypto bull run happened, I made more on crypto than I did in 4 years of wage slavery. Crypto is risky as hell, and you need to know what you're doing. It's not for everyone, but if you get your finances in order and you can afford to lose money on investments, I do suggest you check out crypto. If it sounds too difficult, just remember, you learn to walk, you learn to drive, and that's coming from me. I don't even have a driver's license. So that's how I do it. I save 60% that I invest, and I can have a lifestyle where I can afford to buy fancy things. Now, you can build a career and make a ton of money, but the thing about soul-crushing jobs is that they will eat you up from the inside. And I know people who are super smart and hardworking, but after years of climbing the corporate ladder, they are more stuck and unhappy than ever. They upgrade their lifestyle to the point of no return. And having side hustles is taking control of your financial situation. Like the book and the music that I mentioned that I'm selling online, I get to choose how much it costs, not some company that decides how much money my work is worth. As always, thank you for listening. Do me a favor and tap that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. Until next time, stay hungry, relentless, and strong in your journey of escaping wage slavery. Bye. Oh, you're still here. Oh, that's right. It's the behind the scene vlog. This section is for my subscribers where I share more personal things. Unfortunately, this is where most people quit the video and this affects the YouTube algorithm negatively, so it will really help me out if you can tap the like button. Okay, so here's a fun fact about this particular video. When I started writing down my ideas for the video, I actually wanted to make a video called Zero Shopping, The Road to Financial Freedom. But as I was writing the script, I noticed that my heart wasn't really in it. Because saving money by reducing my expenses, it was always boring. It made me less happy. Now, I'm not saying that I support the idea of excessive shopping, but I just didn't like the idea of supporting the theory of, hey, if you don't want to be poor, just stop spending money. It just didn't sound right. So if you don't want to be poor, you need to make more money. And zero shopping will never make you rich. And I do admire the FIRE movement for their determination, but in my opinion, yes, they escaped wage slavery, but they do it by staying poor. Now, I want my freedom, but I don't want a life of poverty. So while I do prioritize my savings rate, I still like to buy things. So let's say I want to buy the new iPhone 16 Pro, and my budget doesn't allow for it because my salary just doesn't cover it. Now, I could go into more debt, or I can figure out a way to earn money online. And because I have 7 assets that generate passive income, I can influence how much money I get to have. Now, I think personally that people are so poor that they see spending as something evil or as a waste, which makes sense if you think about it. But the bottom line is, if you want to get out of poverty, spending less is not the way. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.